Jeez, Genji's still up here. Yeah. And he's dead. Wait, hello. Welcome back. We're going to do some more Overwatch. I've actually been playing a lot of Overwatch since my last upload, and I legit have not touched Marvel Rivals since then. I kind of like the more simplicity aspect of Overwatch in terms of the heroes go. Like, I've already been able to use the new heroes, and they're so easy to pick up. It's just kind of, you know, comes down to how well you can use the hero. But for someone like Anran, I actually really like her. I thought she was going to be difficult to use, but no, she's actually pretty easy to use. A very simple kit. This is what we need. Make the hero fun and interesting to play, but also don't give him an overly complex kit. And that's what I like about Overwatch as opposed to Rivals, who ever since the release of Gambit have been releasing heroes with more and more complex kits and like what, 8 to 13 plus abilities that we don't really need. You don't need that many abilities to be fun. Let's see. In this instance, I'll do just some more unranked. I'm just not in the mood to do Overwatch competitive anymore. I don't think. I think that time has passed. Even though I would like to still get competitive points and get another gold weapon. I only have a few gold weapons. One is with Kiriko, Roadhog, and Diva. I think are my only ones. And Roadhog and Diva, they were from the original Overwatch. So I've had them for a long time. I would like to get some of the new stuff, but I don't know. I'm just not into it. I just for now just enjoy playing quick play. Ooh, and I'm DPS. Got queued in DPS. I might just use Anran or Freya. I think Freya also kind of works well on this map in particular. Actually, you know what? I'll just go with Freya. She's fun, projectile based, but the problem I have here in Overwatch as opposed to Marvel Rivals projectile hero based heroes is it feels like the projectiles are harder to land because the movement in this game is a little bit faster, or the game in general is faster. But I love how simple Freya is. She just has a dash followed by her massive jump, and then her right click for her secondary, and then obviously her left click. I also like that with Freya, you don't have to charge her secondary. It doesn't need to be charged, which means you can land it as soon as you're able to. Although I think having it kind of like freeze you there in midair while you're trying to get that precision aim really works against you. But I also don't know how old Freya is. Yeah, just don't expect solid aim from me. Although I'm really good with McCree, but at the same time, McCree is hit scan. I don't think it's difficult to use hit scan heroes as opposed to projectile-based heroes. I think projectile heroes are so much harder to use. Plus, I also think that Freya in particular, her damage is a little weak. Really? Okay. Well, Freya's not working anyway, so let's try Anran. Let's do some flanking. Okay. I'm struggling so much, but it's also my first game of the late morning. It's 11:30 at the time of recording. And I'm always at my worst. I think everyone's at their worst when they're trying to jump into a game right away when they first wake up. I love the way that Ayn Rand works with her burning abilities, like being able to stack the burn. Yeah, try and flank with her. It's not a good spot to flank. Yeah, it's not a good spot to flank there either. Yep. Oh, well, you know, it still works. They got 2 easy kills, 3 easy kills. Sometimes what I like to do with Ayn Rand in particular is I'll save her ult so I can use the revive off of it. And I've actually gotten a double, not a double, I got a triple kill once off of it. It was a double kill initially, followed by a quick triple because they were already burning. I just did 1 right click and finished them off. I think it feels like that's the way to use Ayn Rand, but I also don't know how new she is, even though I think she was part of the initial release of quad characters. Or not quad characters, a penta set of characters. I don't know who else were the new characters. Go for that right click. Oh wow, I didn't know her dash actually kills. Okay. See, this one I'm not too sure. Her major, like which one do I use? Get out of there. One thing I do like though is that Ayn Rand gets bonus health from those packs. From those health packs. Means she doesn't have to rely too much on healing when those health packs can basically bring her back up to full health. Just right now in this area, I'm not too sure what's the best route to take with Ayn Rand to take advantage of the flank. But I almost have my health back, or my health. I almost have my ult. Alright, Roadhog's on fire. Okay, that was a good kill. I'm just gonna do some right clicks. Alrighty. I think it was easier after making the switch from Freya to Ayn Rand. I would really like to learn how to use Freya more, but I just feel like her damage is a little bit weak. But she does feel balanced. I think this was from my follow-up on the ult. No. How well did I do? 15 and 4. How many of those were finals, though? That's what I want to know. Not enough to be top 2 on the team, though, but it's whatever. Let's try another game. See what we get. So see where we go from here. I think if I were to do competitive again in Overwatch and I was put into DPS, I would definitely go with Ayn Rand. She is very easy and comfortable for me to play. Oh, and I leveled her up. One thing I wish that they would do here with this level up system is if you look into my profile, and I don't know why they didn't initially do this, is, I mean, look at my hours here. Let's see, let's do history. No, that's not history. Overall heroes, like, I don't know why they didn't transfer the hours that you've played. Like, look, I have 321 hours on tank, 475 hours on DPS and 187 on healer, and I'm pretty sure this is my entire Overwatch career. Like, why didn't they transfer the hours on each individual hero into this new hero progression? Like, I would love to see who's my highest level hero. I would assume it's probably Roadhog, because Roadhog was my most played hero back in the original Overwatch. I don't know why this stuff didn't carry over. I would have loved to see where I was at with every single hero, but no, everyone is a level 1 hero. It kind of took away the aspect of like, hey, like these are like my veteran heroes, but this level up system doesn't want to show me that. Rialto, okay. A decent map. I might just go Anran again, but I want to see if I can do Freya. I just think that matchup from last game was more of a Freya or more of an Anran thing, but let's try Freya again. We're defending. Yeah, so let's try Freya. I also don't really see Freya a whole lot. I was still playing Overwatch-ish when Freya was initially released, but my time with Overwatch was like maybe like once a week or something, if that. But even then, when I was trying to play games, I didn't really see Freya get used too often later on in her release. I think it was maybe a month later that I kind of just quit. But I think that Freya kind of fell off. I think people realize, I don't know if it's me or something, but her damage it's not good. Although she does feed off of tanks pretty well, or maybe that's just me not knowing how to properly use Freya, but her projectiles are pretty slow. She does get massive ult charge. I know that she gets the ult charge, bonus ult charge off of final blows. I don't know. I feels like I'm struggling to get kills with her, even though she does feel fun to play. Plus, she's a bow character, and I really like using crossbow, or not crossbow, but I just like using characters that have bows in general. Almost had it, but had to reload. Okay, managed to get the cat. Jeez, Genji's still up here. Yeah, and he's dead. I don't know, I think maybe I just gotta take Freya into practice range or something and get used to following targets with her.
You're a lifesaver.
See if I can get the Is Lifeweaver really that great of a support hero? He's always used. I never really used Lifeweaver when he first came out, but I also didn't really care for him. I think back then I was like really stuck on just using Kiriko, because no one was really ever really uses Kiriko, so it was always easy for me to get that pickup. Oh. So I'm just like really familiar with Kiriko as opposed to, you know, some of the older Overwatch heroes. Gonna go flank. I also feel like some of these ults are very underwhelming, especially Domina's ult. I literally do not know how to make use of Domina's ult. I've been playing her more since my last upload. I legit don't know what her ult is supposed to do. It always gets destroyed or seems to like explode prematurely before. Oh, stuck Genji. But yeah, a lot of these ults are just so underwhelming. Also, is Freya like a bad guy or something? I haven't really been keeping up with the stories. All right, got her ult again. Yeah, of course. The strongest support ult being Zenyatta's.
This will be useful. Thanks for catching me up.
All right, managed to get Zenyatta. Maybe now that we're getting to a more confined spot of the map, I'll probably use Anran, but I'll get one more ult off of Freya, then I'll switch back to Anran. I might be able to make a better defense. I might have a better defense with Anran. Okay, I just gotta find a good...
You're a lifesaver.
I gotta get a good flank off with Freya with the ult. Okay, that did not work, but it was still a kill. A kill is a kill. Let's use Anran. I've been trying to use Vendetta, but I don't know how anyone can get a kill with Vendetta. Vendetta feels like a glass cannon without the cannon part. Get away from that Reaper ult. Okay, got one of the healers.
Let's give this a try.
Okay, that was close. Who stunned me?
Setbacks are just part of the process.
Should be able to get the ult, but what I'm gonna do is well, I managed to stall point with the ult. That's what I wanted to save the ult for, was to give us a slight chance, but it's not going to work. But I tried. Feels like I already made a better difference with Anran than I did with Freya. I was able to backline the healers a little bit more, or at least try to anyway. All right, queuing back in. Once again, they've chosen me to be a DPS. And you know what, honestly, I think I might just... Oh, Samoa. Actually, no, this is a good map for Anran in particular. So I'm just going to do Anran again. I'm really liking her. Very easy to pick up. And she's actually easy to flank with as opposed to other flankers, whether it's in Overwatch or Rivals. But in general, I prefer playing damage. I enjoy playing DPS and support more in Overwatch than I do in Rivals. I kind of hate playing strategists at this point in Rivals because they don't have the damage output to be able to defend for themselves, as opposed to here in Overwatch, every single support has the option to defend themselves pretty easily. Although the cat, Jetpack Cat, feel like the kitty's damage output is kind of iffy, but I don't really use him. I also have not played the Samoa map very often. And I say very often considering I haven't been playing Overwatch for a very long time. Oh, you got a McCree. Okay, McCree and... Where did he come from? Oh, that was just luck that he grabbed me like that. I think I might invest in a skin for Anran. She has a couple of nice ones I wouldn't mind having. Alright, destroyed McCree there. Now that I realize the dash, Anran's dash actually does do some damage. Get away from that. Ooh. Dodge that. Get away from that. Get him out of here.
Let's give this a try.
I would do the overhealth, but I don't really use the ult offensively. I prefer to use it for revival purposes. Get away from that. Get away. See, like, it would be a good opportunity to ult there, but I know I'm going to get killed before I can even land the ult. So it's better to use it defensively and save it for a revive. But I will try to flank. Get away from there. Got Genju. The times when I do like to use Anran's ult offensively is I'll make sure that obviously I'll have her what's her E ability called? Dancing Blaze. Yeah, I'll make sure that's ready. That way I can follow it up and then do a couple of right clicks. But it's just trying to find the opportunity to use it before you're able to cast it, because obviously you're going to be left open in the air. And with them having a McCree that hit scan, I'm kind of afraid of trying to ult when there's a McCree around. So it's best to save it for... I'll try and use it offensively, but for the most part, I'll save it for one on a revive. Unless I can find a good flank, I'll ult then. Actually, let's go for the flank. This is a little bit more open, so I got to be careful with my flank. Yeah, and of course I got hit by this guy's chain. That would have been a decent flank, by the way. I would have been able to take out McCree and possibly one of the supports, but no, that chain stunned me. I don't know why this Reinhardt is trying to go for me. Ooh, gotta get out of that. Oh, they got a Reaper now. Oh, no, wait, no. So for a moment, I thought McCree's gunshots were sounding like... Oh, no, they do have a Reaper. Oh, only... Well, I'm the only one on the team that has any deaths, huh? Well, I guess that happened. That's what happens when you're using a flanker. That right click is so easy to land, I've been noticing. Alrighty. Alright, I'm gonna try and go for a flank and use the ult offensively. I'll make sure that Dancing Blaze and my dashes are ready. I know that someone is behind me. Of course, Life Weaver saves him. All right, another win in the books. So that was what, 3 wins? 3 back-to-back wins. Sounds good for me. Sounds good to me. 16-4, yeah. Diva only had the 1 death. I was basically the one who died on the team. But I guess that's what happens when you have a good frontliner. I was really trying to backline as much as I could. It is what it is. All right, and with that, it's my usual format of 3 videos, 3 games, and then get it posted. I might try and do some more Overwatch stuff, maybe do some single player stuff. I do want to do a Deus Ex playthrough, but I'm strongly considering wanting to stream Deus Ex. Got to get some more single players out, more single player games out there. Plus, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync definitely coming out. Definitely coming out. Definitely want to stream that too. We'll have to get all that sorted out. Anyway, we're gonna call that a video. 3 wins, 3 games. Not a bad day. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next video.